Hi guys, how's it going? I received messages regarding the Divine Masculine, so I want to do a read for them. And I'm sure the Divine Feminine is going to creep in. But, yeah, I mean, they're like, you need to do a reading for the Divine Masculines. They need help right now. I'm like, okay. So that's what we're doing. I hope everybody's well. Hello. We're getting a thunderstorm soon. It's been really wicked weather here. But I don't mind the rain. I'm just getting, it's our rainy season right now. So I'm just getting a little antsy because normally I do love the rain. But not, 2 weeks on and off. But the flowers and the trees need it. So, of course, I'm fine with that. All right, let me get my happiness. I was really hoping to get more comments from the last reading, but that's okay. I know people are watching. I'm just wondering. Some people that are watching are probably silently judging or freaking out or whatever. Doesn't matter. Let me get this guy. Okay. Alright, my Divine Masculines. I'm sorry, guys, but I do feel like this reading's going to be a little rough on you, so hang on tight. Because the way they made it sound was almost like something's going down, big things are happening, big changes. Not all of them obviously aren't good, because in order for the phoenix to rise, we got to burn shit to the ground now, don't we? Okay, Spirit, I'm here. It smells good. For my Divine Masculines, I lovingly ask for your guidance. I ask for the visions that I need to see. Show me what I need to see. Okay. Okay, so my Divine Masculines are starting to slowly... Well, no. I'm going to say the past... I keep seeing the number 10, so I think it's 10 months. I don't know. I'm hoping it's not 10 years, because that would suck. It could be. 10 months, 10 years, 10 weeks, 10 years, 10 months. I keep seeing the number 10. But 10 is also the ending of a cycle, right? So I'm getting where a lot of my Divine Masculines are uncovering a cycle, a repetitive cycle that's been in their life. And they're starting to wake up to these signs, or they have been. And I mean, it's not even that they're the pattern. It's also the patterns around them, whether it's a family member, whether it's friends, whether it's doing the same routine. It's getting to the point where my Divine Masculines are like, what is this? Like, you guys are starting to recognize the Matrix. I just heard it. That's so crazy. Yeah, you're starting to see, you're like, oh my God, like, where am I? What is this? Really, this is it? So a lot of you are waking up to this kind of way of living, and it's not like you're judging yourself. You're not saying, oh, well, I come all this way, I've done all this, and this is what I have to show for it. Because I feel like a lot of you have a very lovely life. It's fine. But there's something else that is calling. There is something else that is trying to awaken you to the possibility of something better. And so a lot of you are recognizing that you don't have the support or the love or the spiritual kind of like guidance is muddled. It's like you have your light is shining, right? But if you're surrounded by a bunch of Karmic'S or a bunch of darks or a bunch of people that aren't evolving, right? It could be very frustrating for a Divine Masculine. So I think I see a lot of you recognizing that the masks are falling off all around you and you're freaking out. Someone's like, oh my God, like, I see you now. I see who you really are. Now, this could be anybody. It's not to say this is your spouse or your a significant other, or it could be, I'm hearing mother, father. I mean, look, we all have our issues, right? With family members. It's not something new. But for some reason, Spirit's telling me, yeah, but they're waking up and they're seeing things that are shocking. And now the funny thing is that a lot of you are connected to a divine feminine. You're not together, though, is what I'm getting. There's a connection with a divine masculine and a divine feminine. And guys, again, if this is not your story, it's not your reading. It's fine. Take what resonates. I hate using that term, but it's kind of true, because if it doesn't resonate, then shut this off and be on your merry way. Don't waste your time on a reading that's not applying. But if just hear me out, and if it does mimic something that you're going through, then you might want to listen. So I am getting where there's this divine masculine who was connected to a divine feminine, but let them go. And he let them go because either they didn't have the courage. I always say this. There's a line from the movie Elizabeth that I just love. And Kate Blanchett's in it. She plays Elizabeth. And there's a part where her trusted ally, or her bodyguard, I forget his name, Walsingham is protecting her, and he says to one of the guys, he's one of the bigwigs, I forget his name, I probably could remember, but I don't want to get into all that, but he says to him, he's like, you didn't have the courage to be loyal. You didn't have the courage to be loyal to the queen, basically, and because of that, you turned on her. And you followed the crowd, and you judged her, and you listened to what they were saying about her, and you believed it because you didn't have the courage to be at her equal. You didn't have the courage to stand beside her and be loyal to her, and to take the hits like she took, and to take the kind of like the gossip and the ridicule and whatever injustices has happened to my divine feminines, which are plenty, believe me. Because I've been through it. So, I mean, whatever the case may be. So, it was easier. It was easier to go with the crowd. It was easier to go with that flow. It was easier to believe them than to believe the one that they were kind of bullying and picking on, right? So, now all of a sudden, you're seeing, my divine masculines are seeing, oh my God, holy shit. What have I can't believe I haven't seen this before. And it's all being, and the divine is doing it because they want you to be with your divine counterpart. So they're going to show you. They're going to start showing you. They're like, we've had enough of this. They need to see. It's time. And it's funny because the minute I just said that, they just showed me an image of like, almost like the finger of God touching someone's third eye and then being like, pushed back. And like the realization just coming over them. And then seeing with clear vision, clear seeing, what's really going on here. So, yeah. So, welcome. Welcome to my masculine. Welcome to the wake-up call. This is it. This is your wake-up call. So, and I like it for you because I think in some way there were things that you did notice throughout this time. I think in some way you knew the truth, but it could have been that maybe you were afraid to take the risk or take the leap or take whatever it is. It is sacrificing a lot because you're sacrificing your old way of doing, thinking, living, and being with someone else and being around these, this group of people. Because there is a group of people, whether it's family, friends. I just feel like it's like, oh my God, if I do this, if I stick up for my divine feminine in front of this group of people, and I say that I'm in love with my divine feminine and I'm leaving this, it's going to change everything. Yeah. You bet your fucking ass it's going to change everything. It's going to make your life unbelievably amazing. That's what's going to change. And, people fear success too. I'm always hearing stories about how people fear change and da-da-da. Yeah, that's true. I mean, who doesn't fear change? I mean, we get comfortable, right? But what's happening here in this scenario is that I have a divine masculine that's just used to living a certain way, listening to the same old bullshit, the same old drama, same old dialogue, same old narrative, and now they're finally waking up and they're like, I can't do this. I don't resonate with this anymore. And plus they're picking on my divine feminine, who I know, after I've opened my eyes to the truth, is amazing, and I want to be with that. Why am I still here? And nothing has changed, and they're still talking about them. They're still talking about my divine feminine. Why are they still talking about her? That's what you guys are going to start asking. Now you're asking the questions. You're like, Why are they hell-bent on destroying this person? Now, this could be, I feel like there's a group, it's either a group of people, but I'm also feeling like there's jealousy about the connection, about you wanting to be a part of that divinity, or you wanting to be a part of that energy. And, you know, you'd be surprised how many people want you to stay stuck. And I don't know if it's intentional or not. If it's intentional, it's pretty fucked up, if you ask me. But you'd be surprised how many people want you to stay stuck, and they don't want you going forward. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you succeeding. They don't want to see you winning, because then it's just a reminder of what they're not doing to get there. Okay, so that's really essentially what it is. All right, my divine masculines, you guys are waking up to the truth, and this is wonderful. Because at first I'm getting spirits telling me, you know, Carolyn, they were waking up, but they refused to let go. And as they were waking up, they put all their energy into their business, into their work, into making money, thinking that was the solution. That was going to fix everything. That was going to be a Band-Aid to what they were internally feeling. But the fact of the matter is, it's not about money. It's not about status. It's not about clout. It's not about what you have, what you don't have. It's not about how well-liked you are. It's not about how popular you are. It's not about how accepted you are. It's all about the love. And you could have all of that and still be the most loneliest person in the world and not have that genuine love. And that's the problem. The things that are on the surface that my divine masculines have been getting has been it's non-authentic. There's no authenticity to it. And then they look at the divine feminine and they're like, holy shit, she's living her authentic life. She's at peace. She's happy. She doesn't have a lot. Or maybe she does. I don't know. It depends on what divine feminine we're talking about. Because I don't feel like they need a lot. They just live in their happiness and in their truth. And so they're content with what they have and what they're building towards, you know. It's for a divine, it's always about progressing forward, learning more. You get these other people that are stuck in ego and they're like, well, I've reached the pinnacle of my success and I have A, B, and C and look at my house and look at my car. And it's bullshit. It's stuff. It's frill. There's no substance. Okay? And on a soul level, the higher self craves substance. They don't want that. It's not to say that we don't need those things. We do need those things. But luckily, everybody wants different things, right? So my divine masculine is finally seeing that, you know, so now that I focus all my energy on my business and it's building up, or maybe it's not. It could be that a lot of you have reached okay. So this is the tricky part. Okay, so maybe some of you have been really working hard, but you're not getting the gratification that you were hoping, or the financial boon that you were praying for, or you don't see any real dramatic changes, like bam, like you were hoping everything would be like bam, come on, I've been putting the energy in, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, what's the problem? So Spirit's like, you know, the problem is that you're not with your divine counterpart. Because in a way, the two of you kind of, and here I'm getting the figure 8 again, kindred spirits, my friend Cynthia said that. I'm like, I'm really hard with those kind of terms. Soulmate, kindred spirit, twin flame. I don't know what the hell it is. All I know is that there's a connection. And I mean, when I think of soulmate, how I perceive it is that when we were sparks of the divine and lights, we came in pairs of 2. And that's the soulmate. But, I mean, I don't know. Nobody really has the answers now, do they? I certainly don't. So all I am saying is what I believe. But I do feel that my divine masculines are lacking that one piece to the puzzle that's going to light this whole fucking thing on fire. And they're with the wrong person. They're with a karmic, and they're thinking that this is it. You know, this is my person. Come on, we've been through thick and thin together. We've lived 30 years together, or we've been with each other forever, or I've known them since I was a kid, or we've had kids together, or, you know, we grew up together, whatever the case may be. So they're using that construct of time as a measurement for a relationship, right? But when you're with the divine feminine, it's not about a construct of time. That's a very three-dimensional way of thinking. They don't think about time like that. Literally, if you've met your divine counterpart, my divine masculines, you're going to know. You're going to know, because I guarantee you this person has not been out of your mind since. You can put it away, you know, you could work through it, you could pretend they don't exist, you could ignore it, you can not call them, But I feel like a lot of you are starting to build up the courage to reconnect. And I feel like a lot of you are maybe spying on them and watching them, which is fine. You know, don't worry. I don't know, as long as it's not in a creepy way. Because I feel like you're building up the courage to say something. I need a glass of water. Hold on one second. Or coffee. I'm going to get coffee. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. And also, my spirit guides just said, they were like, you better just explain something to them. Let's explain something right now. I'm reading for the collective. I'm reading for the Divine Masculine Collective, okay? And I know I have some people that watch me that are wondering God knows what. But I'm going to say this right now. This has nothing to do with me or my personal life. I'm just reading it because that's the energy that's coming in. So if you're someone that's watching this and you're thinking, oh, it's some hidden thing, or she's trying to tell me something. No, I'm not fucking trying to tell anybody anything. I'm just reading the energy, okay? So don't give me the phone calls and say, that's about me and you, or that. No, it's not. It's about the collective, okay? So I'm just reading the energy. If you resonate with it, great, you know? But don't make it about the reader. It's not about me, okay? All right, love you guys. Let's continue. They told me to say that, and I guess I never really did. But I think when people watch videos, they tend to, I don't know. You have to look at the big picture, okay? There's a lot of players involved, is what I'm getting. Coffee. Ah, it's so good. Okay, let me get back to it. I'm not even writing. That's so funny. Because normally I do. Just recenters me. Okay, so what was I saying? So, yeah, so now you're starting to see this group of people, or these people, or this person, or whoever it is, these energies, I'll say, have been keeping my Divine Masculine blind from disconnecting and pursuing what he needs to pursue. That's why if you watch my Divine Feminine reads, a lot of my single Divine Feminines are still waiting for their counterpart. They're like, where the hell is he? And Spirit keeps saying, we're trying to wake them up. We're trying to push them forward. While Divine Masculines are doing their work for their material world, they're not doing the work for the spiritual. And that's the problem. Because they understand that once they do that, and they know, this is what's so fucked up. Spirit's just telling me, they're like, Carolyn, they know. They know once they start delving into the spiritual, once they start really digging for answers and looking, they're going to be awakened to the truth, and that truth is that they have to leave their current situation or environment, about environments again, so watch my last reading. It's about changing your environment and going taking the drastic plunge and starting over with your divine counterpart so you guys can do the work you're meant to do. Now, again, while there might be a passionate encounter with your Divine Feminine, if you choose to go that route, which I hope you do, because how long can you really sleepwalk? I mean, how long can you be in a state of a sleepwalking situation? Because that's what it looks like to me. It's almost like they're zombified, or you guys are getting zombified. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna be. But I feel like some of you are waking up. But if you don't wake up and you don't heed the call, that's what they're telling me. If you don't heed the call, it's gonna be zombie land for you, and you're gonna be stuck, and you're gonna finish out your karmic whatever. But the thing is, you guys, you know, everybody's like, oh, well, you know, I made my bed, so I guess I gotta lie in it, or, I guess this is it, or I have family. We're gonna blame it on everything but what's going on internally. I have family, I have kids, I have grandkids, I have the... Do you think that your children, or your kids, or your family members, the ones who really love you and support you, want to see you live miserably for the rest of your life because of some code of ethic, which is basically mainly a religion that you've been brought up with probably since childhood, and this belief system that you won't let go of? They don't want you to be happy with your divine person and living a life of authenticity. Do you really think that people that love you don't want to see you happy? Even if it means that, I mean, do you think they don't see you unhappy with the person that you're with? Do you think they're stupid? They're not, because they see it. The children see it, or the kids see it, or the family members do see it. And a lot of them don't want you to leave because they're like, well, what about Christmas, and what about all the holidays and things that we all do together? That's going to ruin everything, and you're going to have this new person, and what if they don't like to do that stuff? And it's just, that's their fucking drama. That has nothing to do with you. And yes, holidays will still be celebrated. It's just funny to me how people get in this routine, and the comfort of that routine is actually slowly killing their spirit and their authenticity, and they're more than willing to do that. More than willing to give it up. I mean, I don't understand that. That's just my perspective. But okay, let's keep going. So, yeah, so these are the things. These are the kind of like the so-called obstacles that you're putting in front of you in order to go to your divine feminine, in order to solidify some. And nothing for nothing, guys, it might be too late, divine masculines. It might be too late. It's not to say there won't be another divine feminine down the road, but if you're an older divine masculine and you waited this long, it might be too late where they've moved on already. And, good for them, because they can't wait forever, and there's, gonna have to be multiple divine masculines, multiple divine feminines. Whoever's meant to do the work is meant to do the work together, though. So I do feel that it kind of sucks, because I feel like it could be so amazing if my divine masculines would just have the guts to see their current situation for what it really is, and admit the fact that they're unhappy and that they want something more that speaks to their spirit. And I know some of you are going to be mad at me that I'm saying this, and I'm sorry, but it's not me. I'm just channeling the information, and it's what I'm getting. And I just feel like a lot of my divine masculines are settling because it feels comfortable. They don't have the cojones to do what they got to do. Now, I had a client ask me, well, if that's the case, then how can they be a divine masculine? Well, because the thing is, they are awake, but they're putting themselves back to sleep. So that's what makes me sad the most, is that they're awake and they know the truth and they know what they're supposed to do, but they're choosing not to do it, and they have free will, and that's it. So it's really up to you guys, my divine masculines. So now, what was I saying about, so you did the work, and yeah, and all of a sudden you're like, well, I still don't feel fulfilled. I still don't feel like anything's shifting. Everything's the same. Okay, yeah, my business is doing good and we have more money coming in, but it's only giving me more of the same thing on top of it. Like, it's like more trouble. Now, Spirit just okay, all right, okay. So Spirit's just telling me, they're like, look, not all the divine masculines are making money. In fact, it's the opposite, because they're not following their divine path and they're not making the right choices. So it's almost like it's a breaking down of the old self, where you're going to have nothing. You're going to lose everything. So I see a lot of that happening as well. But, that's when we become our most authentic and our most humbled, is when we're challenged in such a way where we have to rebuild and we don't have a choice. So it could be that some of you are taking the leap, or you're going through a divorce, or it got to the point where the karmic cycle is really about to end. Remember, we got the 10. We started with the number 10. So there's a karmic cycle ending because it has to end. And Spirit, I always say this, like, don't piss Spirit off and not follow your chart or follow what you're meant to do, because Spirit's going to do it in such a way, or God is going to do it in such a way, or the universe is going to do it in such a way where if you don't make the move, they're going to do it. And you don't want it to get to that point, because that's when shit breaks loose. That's the tower moments. That's the desert periods. That's the night of the soul, like dark night of the soul eras. That's when that shit goes down. But that's the transformative time, because that's when you are a seed in the ground again and you have to resprout, and then a new life will form. And it takes multiple times until that happens. But I do want to say all isn't lost to my masculines. Why is everybody so against your divine feminine, though? I'm very curious about that. I mean, it's basically just making up these lies and stories and just being like, trying to find proof of it and show the divine, look, see, this is who they really are. This is what they're doing. But there's nothing really tangible. Like, it's just I don't know. Like, Spirit's telling me they don't really have proof of anything. Because why? Because divine feminines aren't doing anything. They're just doing their work and they're living their life. Probably living their best life and happy and content. And nobody likes to see somebody who's free of the bullshit and successful and happy and content. Heaven forbid, you know? But I do feel like they're trying to make my divine masculine see the divine feminine as a lie, as a falsehood, as a mask, when they're the ones wearing the mask, when they're the ones that are just like, who? Oh, God. It's so aggravating, because who has the time and the energy to gossip and spread lies and negativity? And it's only because they're jealous. There's something about the divine feminine that they just can't. They're jealous, but they also, it's weird. It's like there's a stalker energy, and I know I always talk about this, but I do feel like it's like my divine masculine may be watching the divine feminine to build up the courage to call or talk or say something, and the karmic knows about this, and so the karmic is also spying on the divine feminine just to get a vibe or see what's going on, and then also kind of mimicking the divine feminine to make the divine masculine be clouded by his judgment and be like, oh no, look at my karmic, she looks, wow, she kind of almost mimics, well, that's creepy. And then they're going to start noticing, because they're trying to mimic and be a copycat. But they can't do it. You can't copy somebody who's authentic. You can't do it. You know, it's because you're talking about their soul. Like, I mean, that's their essence. And we've covered this before with Karmic'S, and it's very strange to me that I keep getting this energy. It's really creepy. So I just feel like the divine masculine's finally seeing the truth. They're finally saying, like, why are you dressing like them? Or why are you talking like them? Or why are you doing your hair like them, or wearing what they're wearing, or looking at their pictures and zooming in on, it's really fucked up shit. Really weird. Yeah, kind of creepy. So anyway, that vibe's been going on for a while. It's not, they can't do shit to my divine feminines. We all know this. I mean, the divine feminine is completely protected, but now I'm worried about you guys. I'm worried about the divine masculines. Because if they're not affecting the divine feminines, then the only control they have is you, right? So, and I think you are waking up to this, and you're starting to realize it, and you're starting to say to yourself, well, now, you know, I keep getting, I keep seeing the image of the Seven of Swords in the tarot deck, and that could go both ways. It could be somebody who is lying, cheating, stealing, hiding things, that kind of thing. Or it could be someone that's trying to escape a situation. And I feel like in this way, both things are true. Because I feel like my divine masculines are possibly hiding funds so they can escape. Possibly trying to figure out a way to get away from their karmic situations. They're checking their money out. They're checking out a way that they can possibly maybe stay with friends, or there's a lot going on. Like, I'm getting a lot of legal stuff. I'm getting a lot of financial stuff. I'm getting something like relocation, moving altogether, disappearing for a little bit until I get my bearings. So there's a plan going on in place, and that's what that card is to me. It's like strategic and planning. It has to do with the swords, and that's what the swords are about. So that when they show me pictures of the tarot, I know what they're telling me. There's someone that's being very strategic. Now, it could be the karmic. It could be the karmic trying to figure out a plan to either, oh, wow, really? Okay, so Spirit just told me the karmic is going to try and connect with the divine feminine in wearing a false mask as, like, I need your help, or I need this, or, you know, please can you give me advice, or, you know, especially if the divine feminine is in the field that I'm in and they dispense advice that way, whether it's, you know, healing, crystals, readings, whatever the divine feminine does. But I kind of feel like the karmic is going to play on the empathic side of the divine feminine, but the divine feminine is going to see right through it. Sorry, karmic, you just can't get through. They're going to try. If they can't do it that way, then, and what's funny is I feel like the divine feminine might even contact the divine masculine and say something. So that might be a way. It's so weird because I feel like the karmic's going to do everything in their power to keep these two apart, right? But no matter what they do, it's actually bringing them closer together. So the more they do to try and keep them apart, that energy is like, oh, the universal energy is like, oh, you want us to bring them closer together? Oh, okay. And so that's what's going to happen. So the karmic is trying so hard. It's very frustrating for them because they're just like, why can't they just disappear? I don't understand what they see in them. I tried to ruin their character. It's not working. I tried to look like them. It's not working. I tried to be like them. It's not working. I can't convince my divine masculine to stay. They keep focusing on this energy, on this divine feminine. I don't know how to fix it. So they're getting very upset and very frustrated. And I'm here to tell you, there's nothing you can do. You cannot force somebody to stay in a situation that they're not supposed to be in. You know, and maybe you're meant, Karmic'S, this is for you. Maybe you're meant to be with someone that's more at your level, okay, or caliber. I know that sounded condescending, and it was meant to. Because unfortunately, when you're doing shit like this, you're not vibrating high at all. In fact, it's very low. And that kind of energy won't fly with the divines. Just doesn't. So, there you go. All right, let's keep going. So, I mean, there's another worry that keeps cropping up that my divines are feeling. What if I do go to the divine feminine and she rejects me? She might. If you took this long, she might. Or she might be with somebody else. We don't know. I mean, you won't know unless you try. But this is the exact same fear and the exact same issue that kept you from her in the first place. So you're still, here we go, you're repeating a pattern. You are not being decisive, and you are not taking the opportunity to be loyal to your divine counterpart. And because of that, you will stay stuck, and then you'll have to watch them living their best life with another divine masculine. If that's what you want, then that's fine. That's free will. That's your choice. But if you don't do something soon, I'm telling you right now, that's exactly what's going to happen. So something has to be done, definitely before summer ends is what I'm getting. I warned you about this last time. There's a reading I did like maybe 6-8 months ago that said you guys have to do something by summer. And it's summer, bitches. It's summer. We're in May. It's going to be June. In fact, midsummer's coming up, right? In a couple of weeks. So, yeah, it's time. It's time to shit or get off the pot. And as much as I hate that saying, because it's very crass, it applies here because you guys have been sitting on your asses way too long, and it's time to wake up. Ugh. Unless you want to stay with your karmic situation and repeat that cycle over and over until you cross over and go to the other side, and then guess what? You're going to have to go back into life again, try and find your divine feminine again, and then go through all those lessons all over again. So that's up to you. I think that's ridiculous. You guys are frustrating me. I gotta tell you, I love you guys so much. I love my divine masculines. But this is ridiculous. This has been going on for far too long. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Wake up. You see it. Spirit's telling me you're seeing all the red flags. You're seeing all the gossip. You're seeing all the lies. You're seeing what the karmic's doing. You're seeing what your circle of friends are saying. All these things are going to, if you haven't found out about it yet, okay. So Spirit's telling me definitely by the end of May, everything that's been done in the dark, every lie, every gossip, every malicious intent is going to be brought to light. And the karmic can't hide it anymore, and neither can this circle of people that are trying to degrade, disintegrate, degrade, rid of, poison, just ruin the divine feminine's reputation, the way they are, what they do, everything. It's all going to be brought to light. All the lies that were ever told about this divine feminine is all going to be brought to light. And that group of people and that karmic and these karmics and these dark entities, they're all going to suffer for it. So, good. I'm happy because that's exactly what needs to happen. Because the divine feminine's not going to say anything. Divine feminines don't need to defend themselves. They just keep living their life and they keep doing their work and they live and walk in their authenticity and truth. And then you have these other people that want to be nasty when the divine feminine has done nothing to them. It doesn't even give them the time of day. Maybe that's why they're pissed. I have no idea. I could give a shit. But I am getting the energy that it's coming back, baby, and it's about time. That's all I know. It's the divine feminine's going to be celebrating. And you know what's so funny, though? Because I do feel like someone is going to come up to the divine feminine and say, hey, remember so-and-so? And they said A, B, and C about you, and, you know, it all came out that it wasn't true, and, you know, now they're worried about A, B, and C, and the divine feminine's going to be like, oh, all right, I don't really care, but okay, you know, hopefully, you know, karmic lesson learned and they'll evolve past it. And then divine feminine's going to get right back to work doing what she's doing, because the divine feminine doesn't care. And I think that's what the divine masculine likes about the divine feminine. I should just say DF, because saying that repeatedly is starting to make me squirrely. Hold on. Lip balm. I didn't mean to do that with my middle finger. Sorry. That wasn't planned, I swear. Fuck you, Karmic'S. Anyway, so that's what's happening. And now my divine masculines are like, wow. Why didn't I see this? Why didn't I see this? And some of it they have been seeing, but they're kind of like, no. Why? That can't be it. That can't be right. So they've been kind of pushing it to the side, you know. But yeah, it's time to wake up, guys. You're gonna see. All right, let's talk about, okay, so Spirit, and before I went on my tangent about that stuff, excuse me, Spirit wanted to talk about, a lot of my divine masculines are worried. Okay, so what if I go to the divine feminine and they reject me? Forget that. What if they don't? Let's talk about what if they don't. And now here we are setting up another hurdle. So Spirit's like, well, here they go again. Because first it's about worried about rejection. Now they're worried about what kind of life are they going to live together. So no matter, the divine feminine can't seem to win. And the divine feminine doesn't care about winning the divine masculine who can't make up their mind about them. Because if you can't make up your mind, then you belong with a fucking karmic. You belong where you are. Just stay then. Don't waste the divine feminine's time with bullshit. If you don't have the courage and the loyalty to face a life together and build your dreams together, whatever they may be, then you're not her divine counterpart and you're going to waste her fucking time. Don't do that, because she'll see right through that. And that's another thing. Divine feminine is not going to put up with this back and forth bullshit, because they don't have time for that. They have work to do. They know what they need to do. And if you can't step up to the plate, don't waste their time, because they'd rather do it with a divine masculine that's ready. So, with that being said, Spirit's telling me that you're meant to, oh God, I don't know why he even had to say this, but you're meant to walk in your spiritual truth and your authenticity, which means that you're meant to be living your life of purpose with that person as your divine counterpart, because they're going to support your purpose like you are going to support theirs. And then together, you're going to build this firm foundation and live your best life and support each other with love and grace and authenticity. The key word here is being loved and appreciated for who you are, on your true self, on a soul level, not the surface person you've been putting out. Nobody wants that person. That's lame. That sucks. You have to go around wearing a mask to please everybody, you know? So, and you may find, my divine masculines, that because you've been doing that for so long, that your own mask has fallen off a while ago, I feel, but you're hiding it. That's why you're probably more quiet now. I guarantee you're more quiet around the people you're with, because you're afraid if you say the truth, it's going to rip them like a monkey on a cupcake. And you don't, you're just like, and why would you want to hide who you are? You don't have to do that with a divine feminine. A divine feminine is going to accept the crazy. They're going to accept your mood swings. They're going to accept your giddy self. When you want to be a little kid and you want to be silly, they're going to accept that. They're not going to make fun of you. They're going to be like, oh my God, here we go. You know, they're going to enjoy it. It's playful. It's fun. It's love. It's passion. I mean, I feel like there's, not to get into this, but we have to, because they want to cover everything. I feel like there's a lot of divine masculines that haven't had nookie in a long time, baby. Because the karmic is just not, I don't know. If they are having sex, it's not making love. It's kink, or it's this. And there's nothing wrong with a little kink. But I'm telling you right now, I feel like this karmic is pulling out all the stops. Well, I'll just do this. That'll make them stay. Or we'll invite someone else in the bedroom, and we'll have couples. And you're just like, what's going on? Like, I don't want to do this. This is not what I want. Maybe it was at first, and it seemed exciting. But now you're just like, I just want love. I just want to spend time with somebody where I never want to stop talking to them. And we're up in the morning and we're eating Chinese food, sitting on the counter. She's sitting on the counter in the kitchen in her underwear, and I'm kissing her, and we make love by a fire. It's like that kind of, you just want that now. You're ready for that. You know, you did the flings and the fun and the craziness and in your 20s, 30s, 40s, maybe even in your 50s. I don't know. But whoever you are, I feel like you're just tired of all that. And now you're ready for that real kind of loving, committed energy that you could share with that one person and grow into authenticity with, and friendship and love and support and great sex that is like kundalini tantric energy, where you could be vulnerable and not feel like a pussy, because some men do feel that way when they are vulnerable and expressive and cry. You're allowed to cry in front of your divine feminine, because you know why? She's going to cry in front of you. You're going to be at places with this person, this divine feminine, that the karmic can never take you to, ever. And the levels of joy and emotion and experience and the cultivating of this relationship and how it flourishes, it's almost like you're waiting for the ball to drop when you're with this person. You're like, it's going so good. What's gonna happen? What is she gonna show her freak shit? Is she gonna show her evil side? Is she gonna try to control me? Is she gonna no. The divine feminine doesn't have time to do that. She's going to trust you. She's going to give you that trust. She's not going to be checking your phone. She's not going to be seeing if you're cheating on her. They don't have time for that. If you don't want to be in their energy, then just go. They're a grown-ass spiritual adult. You're dealing with karmics that are like children, and that's what they do. That shit. You know, like that baby high school stuff. Talking of, oh my God, you know. This bitch, you know, like you just talking like gossip and stupid. It's like so stupid. The divine feminine's having esoteric conversations. They're doing their work. They're writing books. They're putting on, they're spending time with their children. They're making fabulous dinner for friends. They don't have time for that petty, let's do this and I'm going to keep my divine masculine with me by being, really disgusting. You know, and doing whatever I have to do to make him stay. You know, it's a very low vibrational energy. And my divine masculine's like, I don't want this anymore. I want beauty. I want truth. I want to take walks with my divine counterpart, and I want to talk about our dreams and the rest of our lives together. And I want to sit and laugh and revel in the joy. I don't want the screaming and the yelling and the throwing of things. I don't want the rages. I don't want someone who has angry sex with me. I want to be made love to. I want to be hugged and held. You're craving that so badly right now, my divine masculines, that it's really going to make you wake up to the way things have been and what you no longer desire. And you certainly don't desire the karmic. So I don't know how else to put it. I don't know what else to say. Tell me, Spirit. What else do I have to tell them? Okay. They're saying the karmic is never going to change. They can fake the change, and they can coast for a couple of months or maybe even 6 months tops. I'm not getting it. It never makes it to a year of consistency. At the core level, the karmic is what the karmic is. And there's a darkness, you know. And they may try to mimic the divine feminine, but they're doing it from a place that is dark, because they're trying to steal the essence of the divine feminine, but not really be a divine feminine, because you can't copy that, you know, you just can't. And it's coming from a place of control and wanting to control you, my divine masculines, and trick you into staying, you know. And I think they've tried everything in the book. Fake pregnancies, stealing money, holding money over your head. Maybe they do better than you. I don't know. Maybe they're more financially secure. I don't know. But I'm getting something where money's being held over my head, or saying, you'd be nothing without me. Go live on the street then. It's like that kind of shit. Now, if someone loves you, they're not going to do that to you. Why would they do that? Don't you think it's crazy? I mean, are you seeing it? Please tell me you're seeing it. All right. Well, divine masculines, I'm going to pull some oracle cards, and we're going to see what we get. Okay? Let me see. Well, you know how much I love my mirror deck. And me and my friend Donna talk about this deck all the time. Laura Sava created this oracle deck, and you guys really should add it to your repertoire because, but I mean, honestly, they're just cards, and what I mean no disrespect, because I love people that read tarot. I love the tarot. I love oracle decks. I do. Because what they do is they ignite your intuition and your psychic ability in a different way, and everybody reads the cards differently. Like, they read them intuitively, or at least they should. Throw out the book. You don't need the book. Read them intuitively, because that's going to hone your psychic skills. Okay? Alright, let's do this. My divine masculines. I love you guys so much. And I know it sounds harsh when I'm telling you. I need a, I don't know, like a bigger book. Like a thicker... I have so many books here. Alright, well, we'll just do this. It's fine. I'm not trying to hurt you guys. You know, it's not coming from... That's another thing. I need to talk to you guys. So everything that I channel and that I get is from spirit. It's not personally me saying these things to you. A lot of people take it that way. Even when I do readings, I'm like, it's not me, it's spirit, you know? So, and I know a lot of you are like, well, that's easy for you to say. You could just say that and then not take any responsibility. No, I take full responsibility for the readings that I give out. But I'm just letting you know that I may come across harsh, but that's how spirit speaks through me. They're very direct and to the point. They have no time to waste. They want to get the message out there. You have to understand, they're meeting us on this earth plane, coming through here. And so the vibration's lower for them to reach. And, you know, I'm just grateful that they even want to lower their vibration to meet me instead of staying in a, you know, vibration that's, not that I have low vibration. What I mean is that the earth plane is very dense. And so the energy is very dense here. And so for them to have to meet, it takes, you know, a lot of work. You know, reading is not a joke. It takes a lot of energy. You know, it's... People don't seem to understand that. And it's an exchange of energy, too. So I always tell my clients that as well. I'm like, you know, you guys, this is an energy exchange. If you're going to shut off your energy and you're going to try and challenge somebody, you're not getting anything. You're not, you know. All right, let's focus on Divine Masculines. What do we need to know about their current situation for my Divine Masculines? Going into the end of May, Spirit, what do they need to know about their current situation? Yeah, you guys are getting fed up, man. You definitely, there's something up where I think you're reaching your point, which I'm happy about because I always felt it was going to be around summertime. Okay, let's do it. This isn't helping me. Let's do it. I should have just done that, but I don't like, because then it taps on the microphone. Oh, right away. Look at that. Aw, see? First card that comes out. This is my Divine Feminine card. Queen of my world. That's it. That's who you're thinking about. You're thinking about your Divine Feminine. That's good. Maybe that's the motivation, you know? The possibility. The drive, the desire. I'm thinking about my Divine Feminine. Aw. Hold on. Let me get several cards before I... There we go. I'm not liking that, but I'll explain in a minute. Okay, thank you, Spirit. We're going to start with that. Oh. Huh. Okay. Oh, there's one behind... Okay, yeah. Well, let's do it this way, because that's how it came out. Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so here we go. So on the bottom of the deck, I have Triumph of Lies. Remember what I said? You guys are starting to see through the bullshit. Let's see what's on the other side. Anger and chains. So now you're angry about it. Because now everything is being revealed and you're breaking the chains. The truth is being revealed, and so you're breaking your chains because you're finding out about all the lies that were said about your Divine Feminine. Okay? Thank you, Goddess. You know, it's just great because the Divine Feminine is not going to, you know, defend themselves. They know who they are. And if people are going to say what they're going to say and you're going to believe a Divine Masculine, then that's not good. So I'm glad you're waking up to the truth. That's your Divine Feminine, the Queen of my world, right? The child that was meant to be. You guys always get this card. So there's something about your childhood or maybe you met your divine feminine in your childhood, and so it's like, I had them back then. But you guys, you can't beat yourselves up, because I mean, we all grow, we all go through life, and it's meant, whatever's meant to be is meant to be. So if you did know your divine feminine in the past and then you let them go to do whatever, that was just your soul journey, and that's okay, because I'm sure they had theirs too. They weren't always a divine feminine. They weren't a divine feminine back then. They had to evolve and grow and, do the work, So I did get artificial heart, but it was in reverse. So that means that what I'm getting with this intuitively is that someone said that the divine feminine was the fake, was the bitch, was the liar, the cheater, the stealer, the thief. All the things that your karmic is, that's what the karmic has been saying. That they're like, oh, she'll never love you the way I do. She's a fake, and her heart is this and poison, and no. She's an evil witch, or God knows what they've been saying, But now we're going to reverse this, because the truth is that's the karmic. So look at the karmic. She's starting to realize, I can't lie anymore. He's starting to see through my lies. He's starting to see that I'm only ripping on the divine feminine because I'm jealous, I'm envious, I can never be like them, and he still has feelings for them. And he wants them. He doesn't want me. So the karmic's freaking out, Naked before the stars. See, I always get this attached with the karmic because, I mean, nothing for nothing, but she's wearing this cheesy kind of lingerie. I don't think it's definitely, like Fredericks of Hollywood shit. It's definitely not, it's not something, you can just see she's trying, really, really trying, like, hey, remember me? Don't go to your divine feminine. I'm right here for you. I love you. I'll give you whatever you want. Sexually, financially, I'll give you whatever you want. So it's very like this evil kind of temptation situation. And I think it worked in the past for my divine masculine, but my divine masculine's like, you know what? Ew. No, I don't want you. I'm done. I want this. I want that. So, and perchance to dream. So it's not like the divine masculine, it's not like you guys aren't hitting the, what I mean by that is having sex with the karmic. You're still doing it. But, it's funny when I look at this picture, it's like, it's just, there's something evil about it. It's like an energy vampire. I don't know. It doesn't look right to me. Like, the king is lying there. My divine masculine's lying there, possibly dreaming about his divine feminine. Or maybe, oh my God, Spirit just said this to me. When you're having sex with your karmic, you're really seeing, in your mind, you're pretending it's the divine feminine. You could be doing that, yeah. Because look, I don't know, there's something weird about this energy. You might have even slipped and said their name. Guys, come on. Colorless angel. And that's my divine masculines. You guys are just sitting there like, I can't do this anymore. There's no color. There's no life. There's no beauty. It's the same old thing. And it has its good moments, but it's trickery. I know it's not good. And I know that I don't belong here anymore. And I don't know how to change it. But you do, divine masculine. You do. You do know how to change it. You just have to have the courage to do it. You might need to ask the divine feminine for help, is what I'm hearing. Because the divine feminine, I think I'm getting something where you may lose everything for making this sacrifice. And I feel like the divine feminine is the type of person, let's just say they probably won't trust you. I'm going to tell you that right now, because you weren't there for them when they needed you to be there. So it might take time to build that trust again, but they're not going to leave you on the street, like they wouldn't do that. The divine feminine would be like, okay, look, you can stay here, you have your meals, and get back on your feet, and when you do, la la la. But your pride is holding you back. Come on, masculines, you gotta stop. And you think that you're fated to suffer because you ruined your connection with your divine feminine. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Again, you don't have the courage. Instead of just, so what? Put your ego aside. Yeah, go there with your tail between your legs. Admit your faults. Speak your authenticity. Speak your authentic truth. Ask God to speak through you, through your throat chakra, and what to say to the divine feminine, because I really think they'll understand. I feel like they will. they're not going to trust you right away. You're going to have to earn that trust. And that's okay. I think that's normal. Wouldn't you expect that? Or do you want her to be like a karmic and be like, yeah, come on in. I'll just hold this over your head forever. Do you want that? I don't think so. I don't think you want that. You're starting to get obsessed with the idea, though. Either you're obsessed with the divine feminine, or you're just obsessed. But you got this karmic that's like a parasite, man. They keep you fragmented. They might be doing spell work on you. They might be doing magic on you to keep you at bay. It's starting to wear off, though. It's not working as it used to. Because your spirit guides are helping you. Your spirit guides are going to pull you out of this eventually. What I'm hoping doesn't happen is that it's so late that you never get to see your divine feminine and they moved on. You feel very alone in the world. You're tired of living this masquerade, and you're starting to do things that like your old self would do, like old addictions, old patterns, old habits, because you're trying to numb your feelings, you know, and you can't do that, divine. You can't, because you know your body's rejecting this. You're like, I can't. If I'm stuck here, then I guess I'm just gonna have to be stuck here, and I'm just gonna drink and smoke, or I'm gonna just forget my problems and deal with the karmic making me feel like shit every day and yelling at me and keeping me under their thumb with their dark spell work and whatnot. And the thing is that their spell work is cheesy. It's not even strong. But it could just be that because you're under the influence. I mean, I feel like a lot of you are doing something to keep you weak. So you might want to stop doing that just to build your strength long enough. I'm not saying you have to live like an angel, but you can't be drinking every day. And, you know, like you say you work all day and then you come home and then you drink. You can't be doing that every day, because it's numbing not only your feelings, but your ability, your higher self's ability to pull you out of this situation. Yeah. But the lies, I mean, I'm telling you right now, all of this, you're starting to realize this isn't the life you're meant to live, and that you have to sacrifice something, whether it's sacrificing your old self to embrace the new. I mean, I'm hearing like a lot of dialogue, like it's like, yeah, but what if the divine feminine sees me and I'm not where I need to be, and I'm not as good as they are, or they're better than me. Why are you thinking that's so retarded? Like, nobody's better than anybody. You have to build yourself back up. You have to understand, you've been in a karmic relationship where they've kind of kept you low. You know, they kept you down on purpose, because that's how they control you. In order for you to lift yourself up out of the bullshit, you have to stop doing the things that are negative and start doing things that are positive. And trust me on this. The minute you start doing them, the karmic's going to flip the fuck out. Why are you working out? Why aren't you drinking? Why did you stop smoking? Why are you eating healthy? What are you doing? Are you leaving me? And then it's just going to be chaos. No matter what, you're always going to get chaos from a karmic. So it doesn't matter what you do. You could do good, you could do bad, you could do whatever. The karmic's not going to like it, because the karmic just wants you to do what they're telling you to do and be a dictator to your life. Now, I don't know about you, but nobody's gonna fucking tell me what to do in my life. Not even a fucking karmic. Yeah, we've been there, done that a long time ago. Those days are over. So that's what I got for you guys. I'm really sorry, but that's the truth. That's what I got. And you know, I hope you guys can get away from this karmic, and I hope that you won't allow this karmic to steer you from your divine path and your mission, or to reconnect with your divine counterpart, because you have work to do. You know, and you can't keep sitting on your butt. Time to wake up, to recognize the patterns, recognize the lies, pull yourself out of the muck and mire, and just start living, baby. Take that leap of faith. Trust me. Trust me. I've been there and I've done it years ago. 11 years ago I did it, and it was the best thing I ever did. So, and I'm not going to say it was easy. It wasn't. It won't be easy for you either. But you know what? The rewards are unbelievable. Okay? Totally unbelievable. You have a great life if you choose to take this leap and trust your higher self. Call on spirit if you don't have the strength. Call on God, whatever you believe. Call on the universe. I need help. Get me out of this situation with this karmic and with these karmic cycles and these karmic people, and lead me to my divine. And if not, if you don't want to go to your divine feminine yet and you feel like you're not ready, I mean, don't wait too long. But if you then lead me to my divine self, to my higher self, because you're going to have to heal that anyway. Don't expect the divine feminine to do it for you. You need to do the work. It's about meeting halfway, right? Okay. All right. I love you guys. Take care.